What looks like a tiny jet is an Iranian Shahid drone, smashing into an oil depot in Oman near the Strait of Hormuz. Part of those Iranian strikes aimed at driving up prices, hitting infrastructure, and attacking ships near the Strait. Iran's strategy is now clear: a war on global trade. So the more Iran suffers, the more everyone else will too. But as Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iran's military aircraft, leaders, and bases intensify, Iran's capabilities are going down rapidly, U.S. and Israeli military officials say. In Lebanon, the war between Israel and Hezbollah is escalating dramatically. Israeli warplanes bombarded Beirut's southern suburbs and South Lebanon, after Hezbollah reportedly launched more than 150 drones and rockets at northern Israel.
Didn't YT say it? Y'all brother said it. Trade will be affected.
Iran is turning the waters here into a weapon, targeting oil tankers. Iran 50 miles that way, Straits of Hormuz a couple of hundred miles that way. Tankers just off the coast of Kuwait, off the coast of Iraq, at the northern end of the Persian Gulf. 2 tankers hit, set on fire there. In the Strait of Hormuz, Iran increasingly targeting shipping there. A number of ships hit overnight, another during the day. Iran is trying to drive up the price of oil. If oil can't get from here down the Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz, it can't get to the international markets. 20% of the global oil travels through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran is intentionally targeting that economic lifeline for the global economy. And it's not just doing it by missiles, it's doing it by explosives. Iran has a tried and tested system of exerting economic influence across the world. Right now, it is far higher, reaching a peak far greater than Iran has ever exerted before. This is an international crisis in the making on the waters here, because Iran has turned the waters into a warfield. Ships, tankers out here are effectively sitting ducks. This is a hot war. The global economy is at stake. This sea right behind me, that's the front line in this war.
The whole global economy is at stake. Y'all heard the man. I'm gonna give y'all one more update regarding this so y'all can have a full scope of what's happening. This one is a little longer, but keep on watching all the way to the end.
2 fuel tankers explode in Iraqi waters. Another fiery hit to the world's global fuel supplies. Iranian explosive-laden boats carrying out the late-night attacks. The ships targeted were registered in the Marshall Islands and Malta. While 3 vessels were struck in the narrow Strait of Hormuz, including this Thai-flagged bulk carrier, 20 crew members rescued, 3 feared missing. Iran says the ship failed to heed warnings to steer clear of the area. Reminiscent of Washington's vow on Tuesday,
today will be yet again our most intense day of strikes.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps carrying out what it says was its most intense.
Yet again, our most intense day of strikes.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps carrying out what it says was its most intense and heaviest operation, stepping up strikes on energy sites and other infrastructure across the Gulf. In Dubai, several people injured when 2 drones fell in the vicinity of the international airport.
Will those in favor please raise their hand?
An overwhelming vote at the UN Security Council backing a resolution condemning Iran's attacks on Gulf nations. China and Russia abstaining from the vote.
يعكس موقفا واضحا من المجتمع الدولي في الوقوف بحزم في مواجهة التهديدات التي تطال الأمن الإقليمي والدولي، ويعكس التزام مجلس الأمن بالاطلاع بمسؤولياته في صون السلم والاستقرار الدولي.
Relentless attacks in the Middle East war, which, according to the US president,
we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. In the first hour, it was over.
But
we don't want to leave early, do we? We got to finish the job, right?
Israel ready to play the long game too.
אנחנו כצבא ערוכים להתמשכות המערכה ככל שידרש. יצאנו אליה באופן מושכל, עם תוכנית מסודרת, כדי להסיר איום קיומי.
Iran's president maintains he wants peace in the region, posting the only way to end the war was through firm international guarantees against future aggression. On the streets of Iran, a public display of support at funerals for top commanders killed in airstrikes.
تا آخرین قطره خونمون تمام مردمی که اینجا هستن از وطنشون، از رهبر جدیدشون، از آرمان‌های امام شهیدشون.
This as Iran releases footage it says was of missile debris from the deadly school airstrikes at the start of the war, marked with Made in USA.
A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about it.
While Trump's declaration of victory also unclear, Iran's ability to keep hitting Gulf allies is clear. Drones targeting Oman's port of Salalah, exploding fuel storage tanks. The Gulf country says it's evacuated all vessels from its key oil export terminal as a precautionary measure.
The world now faces the largest ever oil disruptions in history. Trump keeps saying, oh, we won the war within the first hour and it's close to being over and all of that. Not true at all. It continues now. More countries are getting involved. More attacks are happening. Nah, it's not close to over at all. The country of Asia now scrambles to confront the energy crisis unleashed by the Iran war with no end in sight, according to The Guardian. No end in sight.
Multiple analysts in the region tell me that Iran's strategy of disrupting, delaying, and depleting is working, and I think it's encapsulated, I'm told, in the one incident in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. A ship called the Mayarinari Thai flag tanker was struck by something right smack dab in the middle of the narrowest part of the Strait of Hormuz, right where it's about 21 miles. And in that 21 miles, not all of it is navigable. There's a shipping lane, 2 miles in, 2 miles out, 2 mile buffer in between. And that ship was hit right there in the middle of the trickiest part of it. Iran showing that it can strike at will, and officials and analysts tell me that what likely hit it is an Iranian C-802 Noor missile, or a variant of it, which skims right above the water, typically hits a ship right around the engine room, right at the waterline, completely disabling the ship, setting fire. That's what we saw on that ship in the Strait. And they're able to show that they can strike at will. It's understood that there are thousands, maybe, of those variants of missiles. They also have drones that can strike, and there's not that much the U.S. can do about it, which is why we haven't seen American escorts, destroyers, other types of ships, ferrying tankers in and out, because it's also dangerous for the U.S. Navy to go there, because they could be targets of those missiles as well. That's why we haven't seen those escorts. So there is no ready answer to this missile threat that has been attacking tankers, stopping the flow of oil at the choke point for a fifth of the world's oil. That means, tell me the analysts, that Iran is basically going to dictate the end of this war, the conditions that this war ends, trying to provide that it doesn't get attacked again, and making it so painful for the U.S., for Israel, for the Gulf states, that it buys itself a lot of space and a lot of time.
You hear that? The end of the war is at Iran's discretion. According to this CBS News reporter, we're seeing their attacks. You see how on point they can be. They're not playing. They've been training for this moment. They showing off at this point. Look what we got.
I want to know which country is going to go through the Strait of Hormuz now. I want to know which country is going to take the chance, like Wigzara said, and go through the Strait of Hormuz. Because baby, Iran said, bet. Y'all want to fuck with us? You want to talk about taking the Strait? Bitch, we gonna line that hole with naval mines. They put naval mines in the water. They don't even have to be there, bro. Wigs R Us got up there and taunted, talking about he's gonna take over the Strait of Hormuz, and told other countries to go ahead and bring their oil rigs. Go ahead and come on through. When y'all gonna stop fucking with Iran? Cause baby, after I heard that and then I saw it, I was like, yeah, who finna take that fucking chance? If y'all don't know, gas price is about to be $200 a barrel. I'm just being real. Iran said that shit this week. Now, gas was supposed to go down to $90 a barrel this Friday. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. I'm not too sure. But Iran didn't call Wigzara's bluff. And they made it very clear. They ready for this war to go long. Like 10-year long. They said they got 10 years worth of shit to give us. I don't want no parts of that. I just don't.
There you have it, family. Drop a comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this. As always, as I always ask y'all, do y'all think it's... I need to know what type of people we got on this channel for real. The Trump supporters gonna believe Trump, but think for yourself, right? All of my free minds. Is it close to ending, or this will last years? Ball is in y'all court. I want to hear what y'all got to say.